I got the privilege of testing out the new Evolution Fighting Game Championships official monitor and headset, the Sony Inzone M3 monitor and the Sony Inzone H3 headset. In this video, we will review both products from the lens of a professional gamer. But first, I wanted to talk about why this is the first sponsor video I've ever accepted on this channel. Thanks Sony for sending me this. I believe in the product first and foremost because it is EVO Standard. So it's no secret that the monitor you play on is extremely important for any type of competitive gaming. A little bit of extra input lag can mean the difference in punishing a drive impact or eating a drive impact and losing the game off of it, or from losing a shootout because your reactions were just a little bit slow. There's a few factors that determine this, including refresh rate and response time. A 240Hz monitor like the Sony Inzone M3 is going to have less input lag than a 60Hz or 144Hz monitor. In my Street Fighter 6 beta tournament run, I actually switched that day from a 144Hz monitor to the M3. I was dropping combos because there wasn't as much input lag as I was used to. And even different monitors at the same refresh rate can have different response times. But by using the same monitor as offline events use, you don't have to worry about any of this. Even though this is the EVO Standard, this is being used at other tournaments. Take for example Combo Breaker that just happened very recently. They were playing on the same headsets and monitor that we're reviewing, and that will be at EVO. The first monitor I ever bought was the old EVO Standard Asus VH236. And it served me very well knowing that I can go to offline competition and that my at-home environment kind of replicates what's going to be at that offline tournament. If I'm spending all this money to go to offline tournament, I want to make sure I can perform at my best. But besides being the EVO monitor, the monitor holds up well on its own. The Sony Inzone M3 is a 27-inch Full HD HDR 240Hz gaming monitor with NVIDIA G-Sync and HDMI 2.1 with VRR. I did a meta-analysis of several reviews online and came up with this list. The 240Hz refresh rate and the fast response time and low input lag to me are the biggest keys, knowing that I can play at my best and not have to worry about input lag. And don't take my word for it, this is NYC Furby. He gave a stamp of approval as well, probably the FGC expert on input lag and what monitors are good for tournaments. The other pro is that it has HDMI 2.1 plus VRR, which stands for variable refresh rate, which means that in a game like Street Fighter 6, if you turn the input reduction mode on, you'll get a bunch of screen tearing. But if you enable the VRR, that will eliminate all that and you'll get a nice smooth picture. So that's really nice as well. All right, so for the cons, you can't really get around the high price, right? This retails for $470 and you can get 240Hz refresh rate monitors for cheaper than $470, right? So it comes down to the extra features like HDMI 2.1 plus VRR plus the EVO Standard, plus knowing that this has very low input lag to kind of justify the price, right? The other con is that there's no 1440p or 4K resolution, so you're stuck at 1080p. To me, that's not a big deal because I'm mainly using this for gaming, but if you're using this for other purposes, that might be an issue. If you were looking for a 240Hz monitor plus those resolutions, you're going to be looking a little higher than this price range. And the last con I saw was around color accuracy, which I didn't quite get. I know people do tests, and comparing it to the other 240Hz monitor, I have the Alienware AW2521HF. I actually like the contrast ratio and how they say the clarity and brightness and overall picture quality. I think is better on the Sony Inzone M3. Again, this is all anecdotal evidence, but I personally, out of all the monitors I have, I think this one has the best picture. And just a small nitpick on my end. If you look at my desk here, the monitor is adjustable, but it's not quite as, it doesn't go quite as high as I wanted it to. So I would have loved for it to go like a few inches higher. Again, not a big deal because I could just put it on a stand, which I still need to buy, but just a very small nitpick on my end. Now let's talk about the headset. Now I have this on, this is the Sony Inzone H3 headset. The first thing after I put it on, I'm like, this is the lightest headset I've ever worn, right? Not that I want to say it doesn't feel like it's there because, you know, obviously it feels like you're making contact, but it feels really weightless to the point where like, I'm afraid that like, I don't know, it's going to fall off or something. That hasn't happened for like, I've been wearing it all day. That hasn't happened. It's actually very comfortable too. I actually find this more comfortable than my, my old Audio-Technicas, probably because of the low weight. Like normally after like a few hours of wearing a headset, my ears would start to hurt. This isn't the case on that, which I really like. The audio quality is surprisingly good too. No complaints on my end. Obviously a higher end headset like this is gonna have higher audio quality, but for $60, which just runs, again, I think it's well within reason. This also comes with a mic. Now I'm going to be using the onboard mic with the headset. Now, this is a pretty unfair comparison. This is literally a $500 mic, Shure SM7B, compared to a $60 mic on a headset. The audio quality is going to be obviously a lot worse, but it's serviceable, right? You can understand what I'm saying, and I wouldn't expect much less from a budget headset, right? It's very similar in quality to the other headsets I've used, such as the Astro A10. I actually used to record my old videos with that headset, and I think the audio quality is pretty comparable to that old headset. One of the other things I thought was really nice, again, the $60 package, you get a USB adapter. So if I have a mix amp, so that's not really an issue for me. But if I didn't have that, I'd have to use this thing right here, which is really nice because I've ran into that issue on previous computers where it doesn't have a headphone jack and you can't actually use the audio. Well, you can't actually use the microphone and audio at the same time. So that's really nice as well. It's good value. Also has passive noise canceling. I think it's pretty decent. Pretty standard. I wouldn't say it's I think you get a little bit more passive canceling with this headset, but again, it's a more premium headset. But my own personal opinion, this is a good starter headset if you just want something, especially just plug and play on the PS5. I think this is you can't really go wrong with it. That being said, for my streams, I'm gonna stick with this. I just like the increase. I actually like a weightier headset, and I also like the higher audio quality. But I could see myself using this headset like if I were to travel, right? Like if I needed a mic for travel, or if I was just going to a tournament and I needed a headset to listen to things. I could see myself using this because I think it's very lightweight and I can wear it for a long period of time, which is, you know, a few qualities you want when you're heading to a tournament. Anyways, let me know down in the comments below what you think of the Sony Inzone equipment. You know, I was pleasantly surprised. Again, I'm a big fan. I'm going to be using the monitor. It's going to be my go-to monitor from now on. Headset I'll probably use on occasion. But if you're interested or you got any questions about the products, let me down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this. This is my first, tech review, so to speak. And it's pretty fun. I put a lot of research into this. And as always, take care. Thanks for watching.